Done is better than perfect. This is one of a few lines that I regularly trot out in many of my sessions or engagements. And it's one of those lines that has such impact on the audiences as measured by the number of people who immediately write it down in their notebooks. Now, it sounds simple, but it's one of those things that upon closer reflection has a lot of deep wisdom buried within it. Done is better than perfect. What is perfect? Perfect really is a bit of an illusion. It's stuck in only our head and can very rarely be realized in reality. So this notion of done is better than perfect speaks to a challenge that many people really struggle with. And most people in leadership positions or senior positions have gotten to that senior position because they have, at least to a degree, a piece of that perfectionism in them. And that's what it's enabled them to exceed or really perform to their highest level. But before long, perfectionism can get in your way. So I'll encourage you now, have a think about what have you really sunk too much time into over the past week or couple of weeks that really, there was that point of diminishing return pretty early on, and then you really started recognizing that the time you were committing after that point really didn't add huge amounts of value. It's another kind of take on the 80-20 rule, Pareto's law, that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Most of the result comes from a small amount of the work. In Pareto's law, 80% of the result comes from about 20% of the input. And that's a very similar idea to done is better than perfect. Okay? Now, me recording this video right now is an example of done is better than perfect. I'm standing in front of you now with a pretty unkempt appearance, hair's not done, wearing a bit of an old ratty t-shirt, but thanks to my cousin for providing it all those years ago. The reason I look like this is I've got a very sick daughter who's currently asleep in my bed, and which prevents me from getting showered and changed into some slightly more professional attire. But I'm trying to demonstrate that done is better than perfect, and for me, doing this video, even though I might not look the part, is better than waiting until maybe that moment where I'm striving for perfection that really doesn't happen. And I'll leave that in because it doesn't matter. If you've watched this far, that's what matters. So with that said, thanks for watching. Have a think about how you might apply this idea of done is better than perfect in your life, and look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Done is better than perfect.